Hello, welcome to this week's Astro Energy Report and three-card tarot spread. I am Desiree, your intuitive counselor here at Soulpath Astrology. If you are new to this channel, what a great week to find me. There is so much potent energy in the field this week. I can't wait to deep dive into it. To give you a quick understanding of what you can expect here on the channel, I will do this little astro energy report. Then we're going to have a brief little meditation to ground and center, after which you'll have an opportunity to select from three different tarot cards. You're welcome to all three of them if you'd like, or a particular set of two in whatever order appeals to you. And then after that, and I do recommend that you watch to the very end, there is usually a nugget of love to wrap everything up and take forward with you into the week. Yes. And if you like these videos, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a single episode. And if you are returning, welcome back, my soul fam. Holy shit, this week, you guys. And the cards that came up for this week are just as potent. In a little bit of a come to Jesus kind of way. It's not a bunch of warm fuzzies. So let's dive in. Let's check out what's going on this week and what you can expect. And I'm also probably going to, because so today's the eclipse. It's the annular eclipse, right? In Aquarius. Now, the thing about eclipses is they are also new moons. So we are a new moon, we are an eclipse, and it's all happening in Aquarius. This is also what is the event that shifts us from, because the astrological calendar, the Chinese astrology, or the Chinese calendar, I should say, operates on a lunar system, which just makes infinitely more sense than the Gregorian one that we use in general Western culture. That said, this is the new year because the new moon marks the new year. And so we are now entering into the year of the fire horse. And if you follow astrology, you've been hearing probably never ending amounts of this. Plus, if all of that isn't enough, 3 days from now on the 20th, we have this fated conjunction between Neptune and Saturn at 0.0 degrees Aries. This is the beginning of everything. The last time we had this conjunction in Aries was like, I think it was like 5 or 6 thousand years ago, something crazy like that. This is a marker point of civilization building, endings and beginnings. This is the theme. Okay, endings and beginnings. A new moon, you think about it, you can't see it, right? There's a death in the new moon. There's an emptiness. There's a stainless moment. Today is such a potent, powerful day to set the intentions of what you want to bring forward, what you want to be in service to. And a theme that's been coming up that is just, oh my God, it hit me so hard today, was around sacrifice. Like, so we have the life, death, rebirth, life, death, life cycle. That is the way that nature works. And sacrifice, as you mature and you become really aware of the potency in sacrifice, particularly because it creates a vacuum. And in that vacuum, something new can come into that space. I noticed this in my business when I would help people declutter. As they would clear shit out of their life, even just simply clearing out their junk drawer creates a vacuum. In that vacuum, more business would come in, more friendships would come in, better health would come in. It's crazy. I never realized that in a sense it was sacrifice. And with the advent of what's being revealed with the Epstein files, and I don't want to get into the details of that, most of you probably know enough of it, but sacrifice, unwilling though, sacrifice was a massive component of what was going on there because it is so powerful. But I'll tell you, just like the movie Monsters Inc., where initially the monsters were like harvesting fear because screams and fear were the thing that powered their world. And then at the very end, they discovered that it's actually joy and laughter that's like infinitely more powerful than the fear. Get this. Okay. Hold on. Stick with me on this. Orgasm, the sacrifice of control, that orgasm, like mind boggling, eye rolling, capitulating all control and allowing this entirety of yourself to open in pleasure, is the point of greatest creation. And this just applies on every single level that I can possibly think of. Anything that I've ever touched on in a psychedelic realm, anything that I've intellectualized, anything that I can feel somatically in my body. Like, oh my God, the truth of this is just so real. This week is this invitation into, do you want to start building the world that is birthed from orgasm, that is birthed from pleasure, that is the more beautiful heart world your heart knows is possible, but that your belly knows is possible, that your pussy or your penis knows is possible. And I don't care if this gets like edited on YouTube because I'm using forbidden words. We need to bring back our sexuality in a holy and sacred way. This is the creative force. It's been such a psyop to make it evil or bad or to direct it towards ridiculous shit like advertising, when in point of fact, it is the most magical, most potent, most life affirming force. New moon energy. Let's set intentions as we enter into this year of the fire horse to invite in passion and love and like holy and sacred lovemaking. Like allow your sacrifice of control to be stemming from love. Like really feel into this archetype. Like I really want to invite you into that tonight, you know, in this new moon energy to really open yourself to the idea that life is meant to be infinitely more pleasurable than you can ever imagine, that it's meant to open us into more beauty, more grace, more compassion, more empathy, more love, more joy, more age of Aquarius, everybody being welcomed into this loving space that is this existence on this planet together. Like, I don't know if you could, I'm just feeling this. I hope that it's translating because I just, like it's so fucking good. It's so good. It's just so good. Okay, so that's today. New moon, annular solar eclipse in Aquarius. Advent bringing in the new year, the year of the fire horse. Now, 3 days from now, Neptune, Saturn conjunction in Aries, 0 point Aries. This is this incredible. So the other times over the course of the last like several hundred years when this has happened, this portends huge shifts and change. But this is the thing, huge shifts and change that have historically been violent and uprising and attempts, though they were violent, they were attempts towards freedom. They were attempts towards bringing more power to the people. Like this was the French Revolution. This was the Civil War in the States. Okay. We don't need to keep repeating that pattern though, because all that is control, alt, delete, insert new leader who claims to be the good one and inevitably collapses because the model itself is fucked. Okay. It's time now for us to usher in a completely different way of being, of recognizing ourselves, of understanding our role in the world with each other, with the world, with ourselves, with the universe writ large. We are meant to be stewards to and stewards of each other, of nature, of our bodies, of love. This isn't power over, it's stewardship to. And that means that we begin to predicate our entire existence from that new paradigm, that new belief system, because there's no amount of picking up the right bad guy and then killing off the bad guy and then peace resides throughout the land forever and ever. Amen. Like that pattern, we have done it. That is his story. We've already done that. We've done that over and over and over and over and over again. We are now finding ourselves at like such a pivotal point in our evolution and in our consciousness where that choice point of are we just going to keep repeating that pattern is because of the technology we have available, we will just be locking ourselves into that where there's no escape from the constant Maya, the loop of good guy, bad guy, punishment, redemption, good guy, bad guy, punishment, redemption. But we have an opportunity now to do something entirely different. We have an opportunity now to consciously and deliberately release that belief system, liberate that paradigm from our meta story, and offer benevolence, grace, and forgiveness across the board because it's not a single person, it's the system, it's the whole ideology that's fucked. Okay? So let's let it go. and let's move towards this more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. You know it. It's encoded in your DNA. This is the beautiful thing about it. It's in our freaking DNA. It's in your belly. It's in your heart. It's in your pussy. It's in your penis. We're going to use those words again. We're going to bring these taboo things. Isn't this crazy? The most life affirming stuff has been tabooed. Like, that's what the shadow material is. It's just the things that we've had to give up that we've been told are evil or bad or whatever. And it's like, welcome those back into your conscious awareness. It doesn't mean we have to act on everything, but welcome everything back in so that it's no longer getting hidden and then projected outwards, out there as bad guys, out there as something wrong. Bring it all back in and find love, find compassion, come from generosity, from grace, from peace, from love. These are not just naive ideals. This is a way of living that we can collectively begin to build for real. And if you are watching this channel, if you're living as an adult in this day and age, you were born for this. Okay. There's got to be something in you that's igniting with excitement at the idea of being on the forefront, on the leadership type position towards building this more beautiful world. So I invite you to step into your power. Step into your deepest alignment, step into your deepest truth, and just let things align as you step into that greater and greater expression of your full bodied hell yes. And move forward from that place into this world that we are building collectively together. And this is where I'm going to wrap it up. It is just so fucking exciting. And yes, of course, it's going to be a lot of work. It's not like you're just going to wake up on the 20th and bing, magical world, right? But the work, there's pleasure in the work. There's pleasure in the chopping of the wood and the carrying of the water, and especially when you have something so beautiful and purposeful to be aiming towards, to be contributing your beautiful energy. And you can see Yara is just like super pumped about all this energy too as she chases the cat around the house. Okay. Let's bring ourselves, we'll take all that energy. We're going to coalesce it into our center channel, into our body. Let's come into this time and space together and have a moment to just integrate all of that juicy fucking great goodness, allowing it to settle into the cauldron of your belly. Allow it to stir your heart in ways that you haven't allowed it to dance since you were a child. Allow it to ignite your mind with ideas and creative impulses of possibility. Allow it to strip away your fear of connecting, your fear of voicing your hopes and your ideals. Allow it to strip away everything that is no longer serving you. It may have served you in the past. It may have served your people in the past to play small, to be quiet, to trade your vitality for survival. But those days are over, and we're moving into a fully lived life, on fire, alive, vital, pulsing with natural rhythms. And I'm just inviting you to feel into that with your whole being. Allowing your breath to inform every cell of your body. Awaken you to this new truth. And breathing that in, when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. Join me back here. Let's pick our cards. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Uno, dos, tres. Un, deux, trois. That's all I know. Well, I know way more French. I don't know much more Spanish. Okay, if this was your selection. And now remember, before I get into these, I want to recall to you, they're intense cards. Okay, this isn't all love and light. These are the ones that they're pointing towards the shadow stuff, because we need to recognize that we have to stop stuffing the shit in the back of our psyche. We need to stop severing ourselves from the wholeness of the human experience. Okay. So with that, let's talk about card number 1, the 10 of Swords. This is actually kind of positive in that it is about sacrifice in many respects. It's about surrender. It's about peace. It's about the worst has finally come to pass. And now we can move on. We are finally through all of our worst fears, all of the stabbings in the back, all of the betrayals. It's all been revealed. It's all out there. There's really nothing more to be seen or said about the depravity, the disgust, the horror that we have bestowed upon each other as a species and the planet writ large. Okay, it's out. You know, a family is only as sick as its secrets. And so, in many ways, humanity has now revealed its most vile, disgusting, underbelly, horrible shit that we've done. Okay, there it is. The Ten of Swords is asking us to not get caught up in the outrage around it, but instead to please invite in grace and forgiveness and wash away what led to that kind of a belief, that kind of ideology, that kind of action in the first place. And in instead, invite in love and light and peace and grace. Evoke God or the universe or whatever it is that you need to connect with that allows that to wash through you, to be a conduit for that. The worst is done. The truth is out. The ugly, it's out there. We don't need to keep picking at it. What we need to now do is wash it with love. Okay. Where's my cards? What did I do with them? Here they are. Okay. Card 2. Here we go. If this was your selection, the Hangman reversed. So now there's 2 octaves of this card. Well, there's 2 octaves of all the cards, but this one in particular. Octave lower, staying stuck, being stagnant. This is the addiction to the fear porn, to the outrage, to the indignation that just spins. Not the kind of outrage that then creates fuel for you to take action to build what you want. This is the kind of indignation that either keeps you stuck or it creates fuel to create even more toxicity, even more punitive, attacking energy, even though it might feel righteous. But it just keeps that pattern going. So the Hangman reverse is inviting you, where are you? Where's your thinking at? Are you using your anger to move you forward? Because that's the higher octave of the Hangman. This too is done. We're seeing things from a new perspective. We're finally done hanging there and we can move forward. Which of those 2 ends of it is it for you? And obviously, you know, where my suggestion is amplify if you've already moved on. If you're already seeing it from this different perspective, carry on. If you're stuck, if you're fixated on the rage part of it, finish metabolizing that so that you can, without taking negative action, so that you can move into alchemizing that energy towards building what you do want. This isn't naive. This isn't Pollyanna. This is how it works. And what do you need to sacrifice? Maybe it's your righteous indignation. What do you need to lay on an altar that you can create a vacuum and create space for something that is more what you want, that is in allowance for more light, more love, more collective, regenerative, across the board fairness, where every life is deemed important and where its place and role in the great intricate web of life is allowed to come to its full manifestation. Okay. Final card, never least, the 9 of Swords. This is actually arguably the worst card in the deck. This is all the things that keep you up at night. This is right before the 10 of Swords. When you have relief, this is the, oh, it's the squeeze. It's the sickness in your belly that feels so gross, that just has this wordless, vocabulary-less, like blackness. That is the feeling of the 9 of Swords. And it is our avoidance of that feeling, our running away from that feeling, our trying to kill off that feeling that just perpetuates the cycle that we've been living out for thousands of years. So I invite you, if this was your card, to slow down. Arrive for yourself, arrive for your breath, arrive for your belly. Arrive for this energy and find a way to dissipate it through movement, through speech, you know, like maybe you just talk to text or whatever so you get it out of you. Maybe you journal about it. But know that if this is arising in you, if this black sludgy shit is arising in you, you're not alone. This is a very common experience right now. And invite in love, pray around it. Allow it to wash through you, because the next step is absolution. The next step is a clearing of this, a baptism out of all of that, so that we can move forward with more clarity, with more love, with more purity of heart. Pray about it. I can't stress that enough. Pray to whatever works for you, whatever deep, loving, benevolent source works for you, and invite in grace, invite in support, and above all, open your heart. Okay. There's quite the drama going on behind me here. Yara. Hey, leave him. That's enough. That's enough. She has no idea that Kovu hates that game. But then sometimes he like, I don't know, we'll just watch this little drama play out. Okay, Yara, it's enough. I'm just gonna pause this really quick. Okay, so apparently we can do that. I didn't even realize I could pause this. So I'm glad that's an opportunity that's presenting itself. I'll be using that again in the future, I'm sure. Okay. Arriving in this moment together. What most beautiful little message, little nugget of love wants to be shared with the group? Just give yourself permission to tap into your joy. Give yourself permission to accept the darkest parts of yourself. Be curious about what you have shoved into the dark recesses of your psyche that you have called bad or wrong or evil. And sometimes those taboos are golden taboos. Sometimes it's your light, it's your joy, it's your passion, it's your aliveness that has been tabooed. So go and explore that in this new moon. Perhaps you invite them all to come forward, invite all of you to be welcomed here. And from that place, discover where your lovers are, where your playmates are, where your co creative people are at. And begin to build the more world that it is now time for us to begin building in a very tangible way. Love you guys. I hope you enjoy your week. I'd love to hear your comments about this. I'd love to know what's coming up for you. Just know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, exactly on time, neither early nor late. And I can't wait to build this world with each of you as we move forward into this new era. Mwah. As always, I love you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.